Now on Fast Track News, Purdue University recently received its largest financial gift in university history. Where did this money come from and what is its intended use?
Plus, a rising country star will make his way to Elliott Hall of Music this weekend. We have what you need to know regarding tickets and more.
Plus, a recap over Purdue's exhilarating victory over Northwestern on Wednesday night. All your campus news, weather, and sports is straight ahead. Fast Track is back. Welcome back, Boilermakers, to another semester of Fast Track News. I'm Sebastian Lux.
And I'm Ellie Akra. Good afternoon. It's Friday, February 2nd.
Our top story today, Purdue University has received its biggest donation in history from the Lilly Endowment.
The gift was announced at the start of this spring semester. Fast Track was there at the announcement, and you could hear an audible gasp from the crowd when the dollar amount was announced. Take a look to see just how much the university is getting and how it will be used. On a rainy day in early January, Purdue students, staff, and stakeholders gathered to receive the largest donation in school history, a $100 million grant from the Lilly Endowment. The grant gifts $50 million each to support the new Mitchell E. Daniels Jr. School of Business and Purdue Computes, the university's combination of computer science, physical AI, and semiconductor initiatives. In a press conference following the event, President Chang provided more specifics on what this donation means for the university.
Half of the $100 million gift is for the Daniels School of Business building. This will be state-of-the-art learning and education facility, both for DSB's future students and also campus as a whole.
The building is expected to be completed in 2027. And as for Purdue Computes?
And then the other half for Purdue Computes, which is an initiative with multiple pillars, one of which is to answer the demand by so many students every year when they apply to Purdue to major in computing-related degrees. One is in semiconductors, one is in quantum, and one is in the Institute of Physical AI. Now, I would say a lot of those impact will be felt immediately.
And why do these initiatives matter to the Lilly Endowment? As one of the world's largest philanthropic foundations, headquartered in Indianapolis, Chairman of Purdue's Board of Trustees Mike Berghoff shares why Lilly chose to invest in Purdue.
Ultimately, we want to strategically position our university and our state as national leaders in these emerging sectors.
Construction on the Daniels School of Business is scheduled to begin later on this summer. Purdue basketball is crushing records, winning a total of 10 games between December and January. Regardless, fans and students were shocked not to see a certain Purdue guard not included on the Bob Cousy Awards candidates list that was released on Twitter 3 days ago.
Many responded with, "Where's Braden Smith?" Members of the number 2 team, including Matt Painter and Zach Edey, voiced their disapproval of the list.
It's getting hot in Elliott Hall this weekend as Parker McCollum brings his Burn It Down tour to Purdue this Saturday, February 3rd.
I've been waiting on tonight all year long, y'all, all freaking year long.
The rising country artist is making a name for himself with his chart-topping album, Never Enough. Critics such as Rolling Stone, SiriusXM, and many more have all named him an artist to watch. Students and staff can purchase tickets at convocations.org or by scanning the QR code here. There is even an option to upgrade at checkout for a meet and greet with McCollum prior to the show. The show will start at 7:30 p.m. Bring your cowboy hats and boots for a performance that is sure to bring the heat.
Well, I'll be at the concert, and I did not know about the meet and greet, so I look forward to learning more about that after the show. Well, it's raining money here at Purdue, but can we expect rain in the forecast this week?
Meteorologist Julia Prickett is here with a first look at the weather.
So the last couple of days, we've seen pretty consistent cloudy skies, overcast, and dense fog, but we're finally starting to see some sunshine for the new month of February. Today in West Lafayette on Purdue's campus, high of 45 degrees for today with the lows leveling off around 34. We have a nice sustained wind anywhere from 7 to 9 miles per hour coming out of the east, but overall for Friday, a quiet and dry day. So for your Friday planner, currently 41 degrees outside. Again, that nice wind coming from the east-northeast that will shift towards the east for the rest of the day, anywhere from 8 to 10 miles per hour. We'll see our high of the day around 3 p.m., anywhere from 44 to 45 degrees being our high. By dinner time, we'll get down to the low 40s, 41 degrees. We'll see a nice sunset from the west. For our overnight hours, we'll level off in the mid-30s, getting down to about 34 degrees, but we'll stay quiet and dry for the rest of Friday. So your local forecast outside, pretty clear overall across the United States as a whole, but out to our west currently, over the Rockies, a low-pressure system developing with those cooler temperatures, making a nice snow-rain mix. But here back in the state of Indiana, we're clear for the rest of Friday. So coming up in my full forecast, we'll talk a little bit more about Groundhog Day. Plus, will this warm-up still stick around? Coming up in just a few minutes, I'll break that all down.
Last semester, we asked students to give President Chang a grade on his first year in office.
An A.
A plus 100%.
I would give him an A, seeing them being active and participating in things that we do. So that's really nice.
At his press conference this semester, we asked the president what he thought about these student evaluations.
Oh, great inflation is not a rumor. Now you just proved it. But no, I'm very grateful. I've not heard of that.
Do you agree
So
with
nobody
that?
tells me good news anymore.
Along with the excitement, President Chang said his priority is to continue listening to students.
First of all, I'm very grateful on how the students. I hope I can live up to that expectation this year and for many, many more years to come. I simply want to continue to listen to students, and not just during football games, during the among the students part, although that's always fun, and not just in Mackey Arena, and not just in the dining courts where I would have lunch, dinner with students, or not just going to Greek life gatherings, but anywhere I go, I hope to be able to listen to students.
Up next, do we have a potential answer to an unsolved mystery dating all the way back to 1937?
And still to come, our question of the week. Find out what students revealed their ins and outs were for the 2024 year.
Are you looking for a new hobby?
Or do you want to have a fun evening with your friends?
Then come climb to new heights at the Co-Rec climbing wall.
Purdue University recently announced that they will be naming their newest airport terminal after Amelia Earhart once commercial flight services return this spring.
This morning, the Board of Trustees held a vote to name the new terminal after Earhart for the key role she played at Purdue. Purdue University is home to the largest collection of Earhart-related artifacts in her namesake Earhart Residence Hall. Head of Purdue Archives, Sammy Morris, shared her optimistic feelings on the decision, saying, "Having the airport named for her means that she will continue to inspire women pilots, which was important to her. There are a lot of people who likely wouldn't be pilots today if it wasn't for her being vocal about the fact that women could and should fly."
With the addition of the terminal, we can now add one more nod to one of Purdue's most famous faculty members. For more information on the airport and Earhart's legacy, visit stories.purdue.edu.
In need of a sweet treat after class, or do you just love Girl Scout cookies? Look no further. The Girl Scouts have been setting up around campus trying to sell cookies to students. You can find them outside places like CVS and Mad Mush, as well as other various spots on campus. The men's and women's basketball games were the main reason these troops decided to start selling more to Purdue students. Girls were out in the cold Wednesday night during the Purdue basketball game versus Northwestern. They were out there from 7:30 until the end of the game at about 10 o'clock. They will be selling cookies around campus through February and the beginning of March.
Purdue is doing some new things with the familiar announcement of another year of frozen tuition. You heard that right. Purdue is freezing tuition for the 13th year in a row. Frozen tuition will cover students until the 2025-2026 school year. Tuition is set at $9,992 for in-state students and $28,794 for out-of-state students. The Purdue Board of Trustees accepted President Chang's request for frozen tuition in their December meeting. The Board of Trustees will formally approve the freeze in spring 2025 per state statute.
The Board of Trustees also approved an increase in housing rates for the 2024 and 2025 years. This addition targets on-campus housing to ensure sustainability, according to a Purdue news release. There will be an average increase of $29 per unit for more than 83% of these rooms. However, this price increase will contribute to repairs of residence halls. Purdue News says this keeps Purdue as the most affordable residence provider in the Big Ten by a wide margin. Dining will also continue to stay below the Big Ten average, annual prices ranging from $1,700 to just under $6,000.
Black History Month has arrived, and with it, some Purdue events. Campus organizations like the Black Cultural Center and the Black Student Union have upcoming events, including a Black History and Bob Ross painting night, a cards tournament, and a charity gala for Sudan. The LGBTQ Center will collaborate with the Black Cultural Center for a keynote speech featuring Charlene Carruthers, who is a speaker, writer, and director advocating for a more complete history for people of color. The event is at Loeb Playhouse on February 21st.
Coming up on Fast Track News, we'll talk about the warm-up on the way. Plus, it's Groundhog Day, so will we see 6 more weeks of winter or is spring on the way? I'll break that all down for you coming up right after this quick break.
What does it take to be a Purdue tour guide? You've got to know your history. You have to know your facts. You've got to have that Purdue spirit. And you have to walk backwards.
Like I mentioned before, mainly cloudy skies overall for the last couple of weeks. I'd say a pretty consistent 10 to 11 days seeing dense fog, overcast, and cloudy skies. But for today, a little bit of a different story. High of 45 degrees here in West Lafayette on Purdue's campus, 34 being your low. Winds anywhere from 7 to 9 miles per hour coming out of the east, but overall a quiet and dry day here on campus. So for your Friday planner, currently 41 degrees. We'll increase in temperatures, getting to our high of the day about 45 degrees around 3 p.m. But by dinner time, we'll get down to 41 degrees. Have a nice sunset as we'll see clear skies coming from the west. But then we'll get down and level off in the mid-30s for our overnight hours, but we'll stay dry and clear for the rest of Friday. Now for your local forecast again, we're pretty much dry across the state as a whole and the Midwest. We're seeing a nice low pressure system out to our west currently, but not going to impact us anytime today or this weekend. So we have a pretty consistent story overall for this weekend. Again, for today, 45 degrees being our high. For Saturday, mostly sunny skies. We'll see quite a bit of sunshine, which will be a nice change from what we've had for the last couple of weeks. 47 degrees being your high for Saturday, but we'll see lows about 32 degrees right at the near freezing mark. So if you're heading out the door early for Saturday, make sure to bundle up, but we'll quickly increase in temperatures sitting in the mid-40s. Now for Sunday, getting up to 50 degrees for this time in February is above normal, but looking good for the start of the month. 50 degrees, mostly sunny skies for Sunday, and a low for 31 as Wisconsin and Purdue tip off in Madison. So here's your game day planner for the men's basketball game up in Madison, Wisconsin. 36 degrees for 10 a.m. We'll have that wind coming from the east about 11 miles per hour, so we'll have that wind chill. It'll feel about 28 degrees waking up for Sunday morning. We'll increase in temperatures, getting to our high of the day about 3 p.m., 49 degrees being our high overall. Tip-off is scheduled for 1 p.m. We'll see about 47 degrees being our high, but we'll mainly stay clear and dry here on campus. So if you do have game day plans, make sure to bundle up early in the morning, but overall the day will be nice, quiet, dry, and we'll see a lot of sunshine as well. So for your futurecast, this is for now up until Sunday. We'll stay pretty much clear overall. We are tracking a low pressure system out to our west that's producing quite a significant precip overall here in Louisiana and Texas. That's facing quite a bit of flash flooding. But here back at home, overall clear. We'll stay dry for the most part. This system will continue to move its way in by Sunday. But models are showing it will stay south of us for now, but there is potential we could see maybe a possible drizzle pop-up shower, but we can't rule that out just yet as we move more into the weekend overall. But for your 7-day outlook, again, to recap for your Groundhog Day, 45 degrees being your high with low of 34. Consistent story overall for this weekend, a high of 48 for Saturday, low of 32, so heading out the door early Saturday. Make sure to bundle up, but we will see a lot of sunshine this weekend. 50 degrees and mostly sunny skies for Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, another consistent story. Mondays, we'll see a breezy day overall. Winds coming from the east, 46 degrees being your high for Monday, low of 31, and Tuesday, 48 being our high with a low of 34. Another consistent story rounding out the end of this week. Wednesday, 42 degrees being your high, and a high of 46 for Thursday. So overall, a nice and warm start for the month of February.
Just ahead, Purdue basketball took on Northwestern in what was deemed a revenge game. Also, a look ahead to their huge matchup in Madison this coming Sunday. Plus, a look back at Purdue women's basketball and their matchup with Ohio State and Indiana. I'm Travis Davenport. Don't go away. Sports is next.
Creeping up from the heathens, got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens, got will, got...
On Wednesday, Purdue men's basketball was looking to avenge their December overtime loss to Northwestern. Fast Track sports reporter Will Starlipper was at Mackey to cover the game.
Do you guys think Purdue is going to get a little revenge from the overtime loss against Northwestern back in December?
Oh yeah, I think Purdue's going to win. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're a lot better at home. I don't think they can beat us at home. So,
who do you think is going to be Purdue's player of the game?
It's a little too obvious, I feel like, to go Zach Edey, so I'm gonna go with Fletcher Lawyer. I think he's gonna hit some threes, make a good game.
Mackey Arena was an amazing atmosphere for the Purdue-Northwestern game. The whole game was very back and forth. Not only did we see a career high from Braden Smith and a season high from Lance Jones, but Zach Edey put on a show as always. Aside from shooting 8 for 17 from the free throw line, he helped Purdue win big time in the last 10 minutes of the second half, including a go-ahead and one opportunity with 54 seconds remaining. The game was tied at 81 as Northwestern got one more chance and star point guard Boo Buie missed his chance to win right at the buzzer. I mentioned Edey showing out in overtime, but don't forget about Fletcher Lawyer's dagger three-pointer with 39 seconds remaining in overtime to go up 96-90. Mackey Arena broke a record for sound levels in the arena at 124.3 decibels. Purdue got the win in overtime tonight over Northwestern, 105-96. Mackey was rocking as 5 different Purdue basketball players scored double-digit points. Zach Edey led the way with 30 points, scoring 10 points in overtime. Lance Jones had a season-high 26 points. Braden Smith had a career-high 16 assists. I'm Will Starlipper of Purdue Fast Track News, signing off.
Next up, Purdue will take on the Wisconsin Badgers in Madison on Sunday, February 4th. With Wisconsin at first in the Big Ten and Purdue at second, this top 10 showdown will have huge implications for the Big Ten title race this season. Coverage for the game will be provided by CBS. 2 weeks ago, the Purdue women's team took on the Indiana Hoosiers in an intense rivalry game. Women's basketball versus Indiana entered the game with an impressive 15-2 record, while the Boilers were trying to put a stop to the 3-game losing streak. Mackey Arena was buzzing early for the rivalry clash, and the Boilermakers took advantage of the raucous home crowd early, taking a 29-22 lead at the end of the first quarter, and leading the rebounding advantage 11-1. Indiana clamped down on defense in the second quarter, though, holding Purdue to just 8 points in the quarter. Indiana would take a 39-37 lead into halftime. Two big plays from freshman Rashonda Jones got the crowd going in the third quarter. A big and-one layup followed by a buzzer-beater three to end the third, which sent Mackey into a frenzy. Unfortunately for the Boilermakers, the Hoosiers' red-hot three-point shooting was too much from the handle. A big second half from Chloe Moore McNell helped propel the Hoosiers to a 74-68 victory. The Boilermakers fell to 9-9 on the season and hope to end this losing streak soon. This past weekend, the Purdue women's basketball team fell short to the Ohio State Buckeyes. It was a close game this past Sunday as the Boilermakers gave it their all as they rallied early in the fourth from a 9-point deficit. But as close as this game was, a last-second three-pointer from Abby Ellis was the deciding factor as they lost 71-68. During the first half, star freshman Mary Ashley Stevenson suffered a broken nose and still proceeded to return to the second quarter to nearly achieve a double-double, going for 12 points and 7 rebounds in 17 minutes of play. We look forward to seeing the Boilermakers back in Mackey Arena on February 5th as they play against Illinois. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. After the tough loss against Nebraska a few weeks ago, Purdue basketball coach Matt Painter had a few things to say about court storming and the potential risks it poses.
All right, because someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get hurt, and it could be a student, could be one of Nebraska's guys, could be one of our guys, could be someone working the scores bench, could be anybody. You got to get police officers, you got to get people around and protect your own, protect us, protect them, protect the fans.
A few weeks later, Iowa's Caitlin Clark collided with a fan during a court storming at Ohio State. While Clark ended up being okay, the incident perfectly illustrated the potential risks that Matt Painter discussed. A risk that's even higher when your team gets the court stormed on them after every loss on the road. Purdue men's basketball was battling more than just Michigan last week during the annual Hammer Down Cancer game. The game was put on in collaboration with Purdue Institute for Cancer Research to channel the Boilermakers' love for basketball towards finding a cure for cancer. Along with money raised via messages on its warm-up shirts and Hammer Down Cancer towels, the team debuted special edition neon green jerseys, and which were auctioned off following the event. The Boilermakers finished with a 32-point lead, and the event raised over $55,000, all of which will be donated to the Institute. The Shondell era continues as head coach for the Purdue volleyball team. Dave Shondell extends his contract through 2027. The impact he has had on this program is not lost, as just this past season the Boilermakers made it to the NCAA tournament for the 18th time during Shondell's time at Purdue. And his overall record with the Boilers is impressive, as he has coached 20 All-Americans, including your current players Ava Hudson and Chloe Chacon. Fans everywhere are excited for what this means for the 2024 season, as this will be Shondell's 23rd season at Purdue. That's a wrap for sports, but stay tuned. Fast Track will be right back after this quick timeout.
The program allows students to finish their bachelor's degree and also get an online master's degree that overlap during their last year at Purdue.
Students can more quickly work towards a graduate degree while concurrently starting their professional careers.
The online program allows them to kind of go at their own pace, and so they're not having to abide by the academic calendar.
And our goal is that this would make you even more compelling for your next opportunity in the workforce.
Now it's time for our question of the week. What are students' ins and outs for 2024?
Yumi Colombo and Joyce Duan asked students what they thought.
We're going around asking people what their ins and outs of 2024 so far is. What is your in?
In is just positive energy, going through the year with positive energy. And my out would be out with the negative energy.
I'd say my in has to be teachers curving exams and giving participation points, and outs have to be IU in general.
My in is having no classes on Thursdays and Fridays, and my out is being in the middle of nowhere.
What are your guys' in and out?
Our in is having a no attendance policy for classes.
Our out is early morning classes.
So I would start out with the outs first. Any classes like before 9:30 should be like illegal or it should be out. And then for my in is that Hill and Bren should like keep open and then like for all students.
My in is I have bought a PS5 and I can play games every day.
and my out is like this winter is much colder than last winter.
That's very true. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
I don't know about you, Ellie, but my in for 2024 is taking my contacts out every single night before I go to bed, and my out for this year is probably forgetting my umbrella when I'm walking over to class.
Those are good ones. I would say my in is actually waking up the first time my alarm goes off. And my out would be this gloomy weather we've been having so far. Speaking of weather, Julia Prickett is back for our final look at the forecast.
So to recap for today, an overall nice day with some sunshine, 45 degrees being your high for Friday. Moving into this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, pretty consistent story overall. 48 for Saturday and 50 for Sunday with mostly sunny skies. Pretty consistent week for the month of February overall. We'll see quite a bit of sunshine, 46 degrees for Monday, sitting in the mid-40s for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we'll round out next week with a high of 46 degrees and a low of 32, and overall a great start for the month of February.
That wraps up our news coverage for today. I'm looking forward to that warmer weather next week, Sebastian.
Me too, Ellie. I'm also looking to get my hands on a couple boxes of those Thin Mints. Boilers, remember to keep an eye out for all kinds of events on Boiler Link.
Thanks for watching. Fast Track will be back next week.
Have a great weekend, Boilermakers.
Imagine a world where Olympics and Paralympics are unified as one, and where all athletes at all levels have equal opportunities to play and perform at their full potential.
Athletics has been such an influential and transformative aspect of my life. So to me, RISE is about ensuring that every person that has the desire to participate in sport has the opportunity to do so.
This organization is about recognition. We believe in recognizing excellence where it is found, especially in Paralympic sports.
RISE is about driving change in our community and beyond. We hope that through our events and initiatives, we can galvanize people for our cause and inspire them to create an ever-growing network to help achieve our mission.
It's about connecting people of various backgrounds and who truly care about creating meaningful change together.
We develop projects and hold events to bring people together at the interface of inclusivity, sports, and engineering.
Our goal is to promote the equality of all sports and to improve sports performance and accessibility.
Join us so that you can have a major contribution in creating meaningful change.
Hi there, my name is Vikram Jaithlak and I'm the founder and president of the Purdue chapter of the University Blood Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to collect over 300 pints of blood to be donated to local hospitals, and you can be the next one to help out.
I donate my blood at the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Right, I donated my blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
And I donated my blood at University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
So I am the president of the ski club. I'm pretty decent at skiing, I would say, but I still am cautious and reserved when I ski. And Copper, one of the other officers, was like, we're hitting this today. The last day, we're gonna do it, and you're gonna come up with me. He really convinced me, and we got to the top of the lift, and as we were going up the lift was literally like this. Then we get to the top, and I was angry. We're looking over this ridge and you can't see where the hill goes. You're looking over the edge and you don't see anything. Once I got over that little ridge and I was able to kind of see where I was going, once I got to the bottom, it was like a great accomplishment. If you want to have the time of your life, definitely check out Purdue Ski and Snowboard Club.